Okay, so welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be slightly different to previous ones, yet again. I did mention in the last video that there will be another new project, and you may even have seen it in the background of the previous video. But because we're moving, we're going to need different vehicles with doing different work basically. So one of the cars is going, and this is going to replace one of them. So this is our 2012 Ford Ranger. I was very conflicted when I bought this car because it's an ex-utilities van. It basically used to belong to Welsh Water. We got the canopy off the back of it and do bits and pieces. But the bodywork on this one is really straight and it's really nice. But it has other issues which are quite serious and needs sorting out. So we will have a look at those. But on the surface it's really good. The body's nice and straight, the engine's really good. It's done 140,000 miles, which is quite high, but it runs and drives fine. It's just the issues it needs. So we need some work for the MOT, and then we'll do some more work over time, and this will probably be quite a long-term project on the channel again. So this is our 2012 Ford Ranger. Okay, so when you look down the sides of the vehicle, they're nice and straight. A lot of the ones we looked at had big dents and marks and stuff all over the bodywork. This one is actually in really good shape. Both sides of the vehicle are nice and flat and square. There's no big dents, no big repairs, no obvious signs of rust anywhere either. The tyres on the front are really good, but the rear ones are pretty close to the limit now. They are quite worn, not too bad I suppose, but they definitely aren't the best. The really good feature I really like about these Jeeps is the suicide doors on the back, because it opens up the cab completely and it gives you really good access into the cab. The interior is fairly clean. I mean, we bought it from a local dealer, and it's been cleaned to a degree, but it is still filthy dirty. But passenger side's all good. The driver's side, I'll show you in a second, but that driver's side seat is torn. There is like an old foam kit on here which they basically just pushed under the dashboard, and that needs to come out. But that isn't too bad. Interior wise, really happy. The engine sounds really nice. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of really cool features with this cab. I really do like it. It's just something a bit unusual about it. Going around to the back. Now the canopy, which I'll show you a photo of now, was on here, and because it was converted from new, it never came with a tailgate. So we are looking to get a tailgate. So these brackets here are something I added a couple of days ago just to go and pick up some pallets, but they're just temporary, but they will serve another purpose later on in the videos. But yeah, the bed's all good. Slight surface rust here and there, but it's not bad. The electrics in the corner there, that's from the canopy body, but that's all there ready for auxiliary electrics. Tow bars all wired up. Again, this side really nice and straight. The wheels look terrible. They're really rusty. Again, the back tires pretty worn on this side. The front one's not too bad. And again, with the suicide doors on the driver's side. So the driver's side obviously a lot dirtier in here. The carpets are all filthy dirty, and the dash is pretty dirty actually. That seat, hopefully we'll try and get a replacement one for that maybe, or I can't really see that's going to be worth repairing, but we'll have to sort something out. We'll probably get a pair of seats out of a later model, just bolt them in. The back seats aren't huge. Obviously this is a 2+2 almost. It's this is called the Super Cab. They do a single cab version, which obviously just comes with 2 seats. Then they do the double cab, which is probably the most common one that most people have. But the Super Cab is just a slightly bigger cab. The advantage of this is it gives you a good load area in the boot, or in the back of the Jeep. It's a bigger load area than double cab, but not quite as big as a single cab. But you can still fit 2 people in here if you really wanted to. I mean, the seat belts and everything's all there. So again, dashboard, it's done 145, nearly 146,000 miles. 6-speed manual, 2.2 litre 4-cylinder, and obviously the four-wheel drive system is selectable, 2 high, 4 high and 4 low. But overall, not in too bad a shape. It just needs a really, really good clean. So the MOT has run out on this now. We did have a few days MOT on it, or a few weeks MOT when I bought it, but we've been running around in it and just till the MOT runs out. But one of the issues we got is this here is all split, so that ball joint needs placing. The discs on the front and the pads are extremely low, so they all need doing as well. Other than that, the biggest issue with this car is actually rust on the chassis. So the front end isn't actually too bad, but the back end is quite bad. So the chassis itself is quite rusty looking. There's quite a lot of flaky metal about, but I think the main structure is quite okay, but the two cross members, or the one cross member at the back, is definitely very bad, to the extent that probably have to take it off to do it. Okay, so I'm underneath the back of the tub now of the pickup, and I think you can see the problems are fairly obvious. Now again, I'm not really sure if these chassis rails are okay or not, but they're very flaky, but whether or not they're solid, we'll have to strip down and have a look. This cross member though is just crumbling apart, so that needs replacing. Probably just weld in a piece of box section for that if these bits are okay. So the spring hangers obviously very rusty as well. They're not looking good. Shock absorbers, they don't seem to be too bad. They look terrible. They really are very rusty again, but they seem to be doing their job. So, but I've got a replacement pair for those anyway, so they'll be replaced. It's just a case of cleaning all this up and just see if there's any, just see how bad the chassis is. Another problem which you might be able to see there is that fuel cooler is leaking. You can see the staining underneath it. So that's leaking, and they're actually very expensive to buy for this, but I have actually got a plan for that. I think we may be able to get a cheaper alternative for that. So because of the amount of work that needs to be done under here, the shock absorber on that side is the same. That cross member there needs looking at as well, and the mounts for the handbrake cables. So I think the way forward with this would be to take this rear tab off. It's only bolted on. I think it's either 4 or 6 bolts holding it on, and a couple of electrical connections, and then we'll have really good access to assess the other side of this Jeep. So that will probably be the first port of call, if we get this off and give it a really good clean and a wire brush on the chassis and see what we need to do. So if you are enjoying these videos, please do like and subscribe. It really does make a difference to the channel, and if you're looking forward to seeing more work on this Jeep in the future, then there'll be a few more videos coming up on it. But that's going to be it for this one, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Thanks again for watching. Ta-da.